Hey guys, FormulaXbox here and welcome back to highlights from FormulaXbox. We're here for round 7 of season 7 today around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, the Canadian Grand Prix. And after a fantastic result last time out in Monaco of our first win in the FormulaXbox League, we'll be looking to repeat that here in Canada. But as you can see, qualifying, that was an interesting turn. We went in way too hot, managed to get the car into turn 2, but as you can see our delta is red. So we've lost quite a bit of time there, but on our first lap, other parts of the lap weren't so great, so surely we will be able to improve. And apparently we went purple to sector 1, not particularly sure how that works, but apart from the turn 1 mistake, it's been a pretty solid lap now so far, and as you can see we're back in the green. So yeah, as you may be aware, we are actually a reserve in this league, so we're not racing properly for the championship, although due to some good points so far we're actually sitting in like 8th place or something, which is ridiculous. But yeah, coming into the hairpin now, and it's been a pretty good lap. Not quite as good as my 11.8 that I did in the F1 League, but we're still looking for a very low 12 at the moment, nor the Dragon sitting on pole. But hopefully we can go above him. I think Ollie Bob sitting in second on the super softs, because the strategy around here is quite difficult to make a one-stop work from the ultra softs, especially on the wheel with the increased rear tyre wear. But as you can see, we put it on pole with a 12.2, but unfortunately Melanie went to steal that, and Ollie Bob in second, although Ollie Bob's lap had corner cuts, so we got the quality points for P2. So yeah, Nor in fourth. I can't see the rest because I've scrolled down. We'll scroll back up now, hopefully. Nor in fourth, the Mighty Midget in fifth, Jack Spar sixth, Kung Fu Kenny Jack in seventh, and Azar in eighth on the super softs after he bottled his runs later on. Perez in ninth, and Drastic Devil rounding out the top 10 there. I showed the rest of the grid earlier on if you want to skip back to have a look at that. But yeah, P3, solid starting position, and we now skip onto the race where we will see the strategy any moment now. There we go. No rain. The game's telling us to one stop. Not going to happen. We're doing the bottom strategy there. Although we might switch up the last stint to super softs to avoid undercut, depending on how I'm feeling at the time. But yeah, all looking good so far. Altering the fuel load at the moment, and then we will be ready for the formation lap, I believe, or maybe the race. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's the formation lap, which will be heading out onto any moment now. If we can press A, I'm really good at editing on time. So yeah, looking forward to this race. One of my strongest tracks is, there we go, we finally pressed A for the formation lap. But yeah, this is one of my personal favourite tracks. Got my first ever win in league racing around here, and I'll maybe be looking to repeat that, but it's unlikely. Melanie is rapid, Ollie Bob is pretty quick as well, and they're both running assists for this race, so not going to be easy for me. Obviously Azar Reactions Joe coming through the pack as well will be quite quick, I'm sure, so it's going to be a challenge for me to win this one, but obviously I'm going to give it my best shot, and hopefully we can take 2 wins in a row here in FormulaXbox. So putting onto the grid now, going through some people who have got kicked off, and then we will be ready to roll. And here we go, we have the lights now, we have 3 lights now, we have 4, and it's 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix here. We've actually got a good start, better than Ollie Bob on the super softs, but then he lags forward. We're going to chuck it up the inside of turn 1 anyway, make the apex. Melanie's ahead in the lead nicely. Can we go around the outside of Ollie Bob of turn 2? Probably not, probably because he has traction control, but we managed to hold it quite well, and we're going side by side down towards turn 3, but we back out there. Pretty sure Ollie Bob corner cut, but oh well, we're not going to complain. Decent start. I don't think there was too much contact. Nor remains in 4th behind us, and I think it's the Mighty Midget in 5th as Ollie Bob sort of enters that chicane sideways. He's got a very poor exit actually, so maybe we'll have a look down towards this chicane. More lag going on there. Melanie's cleared off at the moment. It is his debut race actually in the league. We back out on Ollie Bob, and the proximity arrow appears there, and that's Nor. Unfortunately, he's gone into the back of us there, and he picked up wing damage. I don't really think I was at fault, and Nor didn't say anything about it. Well, I asked him about it, and he said it wasn't too bad. So we'll continue on for the moment now behind Ollie Bob on lap number 3. And we're going to go past him nice and easily with the DRS. As you can see, Melanie still ahead, nailing the chicane, not corner cutting there. And obviously we'll be aiming not to get a penalty today, which should help us out at the end of the race, as we set the fastest lap of the race at the end of lap 3. But unfortunately, end of lap 4, we haven't been able to drop Ollie Bob. Short lap round here, so not too difficult to stick behind, and Ollie Bob just goes straight back past. No point fighting that, so I'll let him go, and hopefully we can work together to catch up to the other McLaren of Melanie, as we're quite conservative through the final chicane there. We've lost a bit of time to Ollie Bob, but I'm sure we'll make that up on the next lap. As you can see, skipping to lap 5, there's a more lag going on from Ollie Bob as we sort of have a look into the chicane. Nothing doing there. Can we get a better exit? No, but we should have the DRS once again heading down towards turn 1. Will we be able to get the move done? Hopefully, and indeed we can. We break much later there, make the apex, and we're back up into P2. Melanie not going too far away, not sure what's going on there. There's proximity error. Galvanic Gamer appears from the pit exit. So yeah, Melanie doing a pretty good job at the moment, and Ollie Bob's not really helping me in closing out. As you can see, someone was going slowly at the side of the track. I think it was actually my teammate who had a puncture. But yeah, we actually managed to stay ahead of Ollie Bob here on lap number 6. Yeah, lap number 6, so that was good. But skipping on to lap 7, I think we're going into the pits. Look at our rear tyres, they're absolutely gone, and Ollie Bob is still with us. Melanie, I'm not sure what strategy he's going for. If he goes for the one stop, I think it may well be GG for us, especially if we get traffic. Ollie Bob goes up the inside, we're going straight into the pits, and there's contact there, and I don't really think I was at fault for that one. I mean, I might show a replay, I probably don't, because I'm terrible at editing, but I had the line and Ollie Bob pulled over on me. Yeah, sure, he wasn't to know I was going into the pits, but I could have still tried to hold it around the outside, and on my screen there was barely any contact. So I think a bit of lag involved as well, which is obviously not ideal. I think we actually do get a replay of it, so there you go, although probably not, I'm probably lying. But yeah, we come out of the pits well down the order, back in P10 behind K Gibbs, and no, we don't get a replay of it. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Kyron's missed the chicane there ahead, and we're just going to go straight past up into P9, so thank you for not making that too hard. But yeah, about the Ollie Bob incident, I don't think there's any stewards inquiry on that either. Definitely no penalty received for me. So if he did take it to the stewards, which I'm pretty sure he didn't, I should know considering I am a steward. But yeah, there was definitely no penalty for me there, as you could probably tell, I clearly wasn't at fault. But coming towards the final chicane, I think there's absolute carnage going on. Someone's in the wall. I think that was Devil and Sinan. Galvanic Gamer, who's a lap down, retiring from the session, and we're up into P6. Who's absolute mayhem that occurred there. I'm assuming there was contact between Devil and Sinan, and there is now a virtual safety car to calm things down. But yeah, I think Devil and Sinan tried to go side by side, and Devil probably just slapped Sinan in the wall. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But we've absolutely ballsed up the virtual safety car restart there. And we have not managed to gain the optimum amount for it. Some people will have come into the pits actually, which will help them out a lot. I think Melanie might have sneaked into the pits at the end of the virtual safety car, so he'll have a bigger lead than he did before on us anyway. So any hopes of the undercut are no longer going to work, as we now head down towards the finish line to start lap number 10. I think Perez was in the pits there, so we're now up into P5 with Melanie in P4, also on the softs, but I don't think he can get them to the end, to be honest. It'll be a huge push, and I don't think it'd be worth the risk. It's definitely better to go on ultra soft. Jack Sparr and Ollie Bob are now in the pits at the end of lap 10, and we're up into P3. Azar leads at the moment, myself in P3, Melanie in second, and Drastic Midget actually in P4. Shout out to him. But as we skip on to lap 14, it's Jack Sparr who's up into P4, and Joe now comes into the pits to relinquish the lead to Melanie and myself, now up into P2 as we head through turn number 2. Coming down towards the chicane then on lap number 17, and there's a yellow flag, and that is because Prototype Budgie is in the wall. I'm not sure he's managed that. He's actually in the middle of the track, but his front right was missing, and the car was very lopsided. Later on lap 19, Elusive Kev has retired, and now we have a safety car. So at this point, I'm coming into the pits and strapping on a set of super softs to take to the end. As you can see, skipping onto the pit lane now. As you can see, I've only got one warning, and that was actually for a collision with Ollie Bob. So no corner cut warnings at the moment, which is something impressive in my opinion around this track. As we pull up into our pit box now, getting on the super soft red striped tyres, and we come out in P2 behind Melanie. Will we be ahead of Joe? That is the question. I think we will actually, yeah, quite easily, and that is very surprising, really. I wasn't expecting to be ahead of Joe, but we've managed to get that done. Melanie still in the lead, but we should have second at least. But now it's telling us to pass the safety car, which I know you should never do. Melanie's passed it. He's got an illegal overtake, and if he can let the safety car back, he's going to not get disqualified, but he's also let us through, and I'm not sure what's gone on there. I think I've managed to take the lead inadvertently because Melanie let me through and the game was broken really. So yeah, we're into P1 now. Not particularly how I'd like to be into P1, but we'll take it as we're now on the proper safety car restart here, and we are controlling it, and hopefully we won't bottle it like we did in Monaco. And what we're going to do, we're going to slam on the brakes, back it up, and then go on the throttle, which has worked an absolute treat. We've managed to maintain the lead easily. Melanie still in second and Joe in third as we head through the final chicane there, as we restart this race with 13 laps to go as we start across the start finish line now to start lap 23. Hopefully no more interferences and we can be racing all the way to the end, although I'm not going to lie, I was slightly worried about my tyres because I know the rears do get absolutely abused around this track. So we're on to lap 24, it's going quite comfortably in the lead. We set a purple sector 1, but what has happened there? We've done a Seb Vettel, well not really, we've locked up into turn 7? No, 6. Turn 6 there, and we've run wide, and we've let Melanie through. And what I can say is my foot slipped off my brake, as you can see there. My brake input just suddenly completely drops off, and that's when my foot slipped off my brake. I've had that once before. It was into Mexico turn 1, and it didn't end particularly well, but yeah. Luckily, it didn't cost us too much there, but we have now lost the lead as Melanie has taken that back, as we're going to get in the slipstream with the DRS now on lap 25, and we're going to sail past him. And I think Melanie actually did have the slipstream glitch in this race, as we've nailed the curbs there. The second one's chucked us quite far off. Melanie's going to get the run. We've almost binned it in the wall, and our attempt at taking the lead back has absolutely failed, and Melanie defends P1. But yeah, I think Melanie does have the slipstream glitch in this race, so if we get past, it shouldn't be too difficult to defend our position. As you can see, we clearly do still have slipstream despite multiple people leaving and rejoining. So next lap, actually, yeah, lap 26, getting on the DRS, and it should be an easy pass this time. We're a bit closer, and can we break it down this time? Not very well. We've clouted the second curb, but it didn't cost us too much. Melanie's still on the outside, on the back of us. We're going to go defensive, fastest lap of the race as we head down towards turn 1. And we've taken that quite nicely. Melanie's still hanging around the outside through turn 2. Can we go on the exit? No. Traction much better on the McLaren. I wonder why. But yeah, Melanie lives to fight another day in terms of this battle for the lead. But at the end of lap 27, we're going to be in the slipstream with the DRS, and we're going to fly past. And that is us up into P1. We've managed to actually get it stopped for the final chicane this time. And hopefully that is the last we see of Melanie, and we can drive away for a nice easy win. But as I'm sure you know, that's not how it works. Skipping on to lap 28, we've almost binned it through that chicane in the middle sector. Melanie's right on the back of us. There's a bit of lag going on there, and he's actually hit us there, and I think he actually got damage on his front wing. I can't confirm because this race was about 6 years ago, but I seem to remember him telling me that he actually got damage from that incident. But skipping on to lap 31, we appear to have everything under control. We're doing nicely in the lead as we head down towards turn 1 here. And skip lap 32 now. 4 laps to go in this race. Exit of turn 2, we've absolutely bottled it. We've lost the back end into the wall. Melanie goes past, Joe goes past. I'm absolutely raging. I've got it out the wall, but we're going to lose another place to Ollie Ball. We've absolutely killed the rear tyres in the process, and that is far from ideal in all kinds of ways. Ollie Bob's now up into P3, but I think he has about 7 penalties, so we should be okay in this one, but we want to get back on the podium for pride to finish there, and obviously because I didn't know Ollie Bob had so many penalties at the time. So we managed to pass him into the final chicane. We're going in reverse entry drift. We somehow managed to save the car despite the fact we're sliding around like an absolute ice skater, as Ollie Bob's giving us a lot of space on the outside on the pit straight. Up the inside into turn 1, Ollie Bob's going to hang it around the outside again, and we're going to have absolutely no traction off turn 2, so if we hold it, it's a miracle. And I think we might have actually held P3 there, so that's very surprising. But yeah, we managed to hold P3 for the time being, but we're not done yet. Final lap, Ollie Bob still very close. Once again, sliding through the final chicane. Joe's won the race, but he had penalties once again, just like in the F1 League, so Melanie's won the race. And we're just going to hold on ahead of Ollie Bob to finish in P3 here in Canada. Absolute bottle job, what a surprise. But yeah, our tyres were pretty dead anyway, so I highly doubt we would have held on to the win. But there are the results. Melanie takes his win on debut ahead of Joe, myself in 3rd, Nor actually in 4th due to Ollie Bob's penalties, with Sinan in 6th, Vapid Coot in 7th, Karen in 8th, and I couldn't see the rest of the top 10. But there's the championship, Azar winning that at the moment, and it should be pretty easy for him because Luke and Casey are now only reserves. with Sinan in 4th, Nor in 5th, Sam in 6th, and I'm in 7th, despite the fact I've only done 3 out of the 7 races. So yeah, that's been it for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy quite an entertaining race here around Canada for Formula Xbox, and I'll see you for the next Formula Xbox race, or maybe an F1 League race, depending on which I upload, either in Baku or I have no idea for the F1 League, to be honest. But yeah, if it's Formula Xbox, I'll see you in Baku. That's been it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.